Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner with like a radio show thing that involves Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane in quite a big way. You can normally text the show, but don't text us today, please, because we're not here. We are pre-recording this show, so what you hear now is history. But,
that's a fine way to talk about our careers.
Yeah. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
It's the base.
Nice.
I love that.
Bit of newsreader.
Yeah. I love a bit of newsreader. Did I have a tight?
Maybe off air.
Yeah. I didn't know about that particular night.
Yes. It wasn't him. It wasn't Sir Trevor.
Do you know, that would be my favourite celebrity partnership.
What, me and Sir Trevor
Yes.
McDonald? Well, that could work. He loves cricket.
I'd love that.
Oh, I can imagine me and him in one of those baths when the taps are in the middle, so we can both lie back.
Nice.
I think you'd settle disputes very quickly as well, little marital spats, because you're both direct and to the point, you know?
Yeah, I think I don't think he's a bloke who would just, let you have your own way by any means.
No, I think he'd overpower you in a second.
No, I don't think he'd do that, would he? How old is he?
Oh, he's of an age, but
He's
I still
80
think
odd.
No, I'd have him over if he started. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I can take the night. Roy Orbison underwater. We're coming soon to a swimming bath near you. So, you never know what's going to happen on this show, do you?
Well, unless you read the script that the writers send us.
Oh, yeah, that script. When's that coming?
They've gone mad this week, haven't
They send it a week early, yeah.
All that Roy Orbison underwater stuff.
I might have a word with them about that Trevor McDonald stuff. I wasn't sure about it.
Yeah.
I think they were on the edge.
At least we can blame them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, God, imagine if I'd just said that myself. Anyway, I'll tell you what I did this week. I erected a structure in my garden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I built
Trevor
my
McDonald
first... He was out.
Leave it, Frank.
I'm going to say he's been out...
Frank, I told you, leave it.
He's been out 3 nights this week. I'm not happy about it.
I need my freedom, Frank.
Came
You
in
have
the
to
other
understand
night.
that.
He came in covered in seaweed. He'd been at Roy Orbison's DVD record.
Oh, yeah.
They went out. They went wild. They went actually into the sea this time.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I built a trampoline.
Oh, lovely.
You ever built one?
No, I've never built one.
No.
I imagine it's a lot of looping bungee cord.
Oh, I don't know.
Did you do it on your
It
own
isn't.
then?
No, you can't. I don't know if you could do it on your own, I'll be honest with you.
Trevor helped out.
Trevor's out, so I got Cath round.
Trevor was at a phone
what got
party.
me, he was the first to ever go on it when he got in. I tell you, he can do that thing when he lands on his bum and comes straight back up again.
Fun.
Yeah, brilliant. And that's without spilling a pint of Guinness. So we
you
really
and
don't.
Cath?
Yeah, me and Cath, we built a trampoline, and it is really hard. I'll tell you what you do. You're not looping things. There's springs, and they have to go onto a hook.
Oh, I've seen those springs.
Yeah.
But you do the first couple, and you think, oh, this will be easy, and then the next one, and there's a special tool that you have to put onto the spring, and then I had to lie on my back on the floor with my feet against the ridge of the trampoline, and just pull like that. Reminded me once I was getting a blackhead out the side of a cow with a corkscrew. It reminded me of that. You really have to bring your feet up, because you have to be careful you don't do your back in.
Oh.
No.
And the more you do, the harder the taut. Is that the right word? The taut.
It needs to be taught.
No, it's-
T-A-U-T.
Oh, is that the name of the trampoline surface, you mean?
Talk, is it?
Oh, talk, I believe it is talk.
Talk, like they say about cars on Top Gear, don't they? They talk about talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds right.
I think it was. Yeah.
You know
Like,
he
don't
would
want
know the
loose-
answer to that because he knows the answer to everything.
You don't want loose talk. But we got it. We put some people have said to me, well, I think Daisy said to me, got about 2/3 of the way through the springs and thought, oh, that'll hold him.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. She's reckless. We got everyone in place. It's so...
Did you?
Good for you.
It's so now tight, like... He might as well have just jumped on the floor, saved ourselves at the time. There's no giving it at all. It's just like jumping on stone. But, the satisfaction of having built a trampoline.
I don't know that Mick Jagger song.
Yeah. You could learn a lot. You should you should build some children's entertainment in his garden.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, Frank, post-trampoline erection,
Yeah?
did you go on the trampoline yourself?
No, it's got a weight limit, which was in kilograms, so I don't know what it is, so I didn't want to risk it.
Can you remember it? I'm all right on that.
I can't remember it now.
Oh, okay.
It was in the foreign, the kilograms.
Yeah.
It could be three of me, it could be my leg, for all I know. But I didn't risk it. But Boz was on it, loved it.
Did he love it?
Yeah, he can do the bounce on the bomb, and he can't come back up again, but it
He
fall down.
passed the weight
And how big
restriction,
is-
which is all I'm happy about.
Yes, exactly.
I'm so proud of that child.
How big
Yes.
is, I bet it's a really high weight. I bet you could easily get loads of people on it.
I don't think so.
How big is said
That
trampoline?
might be my
Seven-
diet, the Frank Skinner
7
trampoline
foot
diet.
across.
7 foot
Huh?
across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I was pleased with it. Proud. That's what I was. I bought him a swing. This is his birthday. Today, Saturday, the 23rd of May, is his birthday.
Exciting.
And last birthday, I bought him a swing for the garden. Still in the box.
Oh.
So this birthday's present has pulled ahead of last year's. Like when a batsman comes in and goes ahead of the batsman that's already in and has been batting. It's like that.
Is it?
I've got a confession re Buzz's birthday. I know it's around this time of year, but I couldn't remember the exact day.
It's all right. Don't
Do you know what I did?
Go on.
I'm afraid I googled Daily Mail online,
Oh, all right.
and I found my answer.
That's handy,
No.
isn't it?
Good that, yeah.
So just a little tip for anyone out there. It's a good way of remembering people's
These
birthdays.
people that moan about
Famous.
celebrity, they want to remember that. Want to remember a great many things, I must say. My dad built a swing just out of wood he found in old houses.
That sounds nice to slide down.
Swing?
Oh, right.
Not a
swing,
slide.
Not a slide. I was thinking
They've
if
got a
you're a
bit
big
mixed
fan
up.
of splinters, yeah.
No, it's what he did. It's like made out of doors and skirting board and
Oh, I
stuff.
hope there weren't any road nails.
Oh,
No, it was brilliant. It was sturdy, I must say. He used to use it sometimes. He'd use the frame for lynchings. I don't think that bloke had that bread. I always said that. No, he did. He could build anything, my dad. I can't, so that's why I was so excited. I get excited when I mow the lawn. I mowed the lawn this week.
How was that?
Oh, brilliant.
I love the idea of you mowing the lawn.
Again,
The
that's
cat with the radio in it.
That's something
gardening
else Mick
suits.
Jagger could learn from if you can't get no satisfaction. Incredibly satisfying when you stand back and look at the lawn. You
Yes.
don't need drugs and young, attractive women from South America. Mow the lawn, Mick.
Or
Well, thing is, I don't really have a mower. Just do it. I have a mower. I have to have a look in the shed. Oh, there he goes.
Has Mick Jagger burst into the studio?
Oh, he's just gone. He's
can see
gone off
his,
to his phone in Qualcast.
he's going to buy some more black platform trainers. You can't get enough.
Not an easy item to purchase,
I
are they?
saw the Stones about, oh God, it must have been like 10 years ago. And he did they did a cover of Love Train. You know that one? The
Oh,
old,
yeah.
Get on,
Yeah.
join in. And he went off stage and came back on with a Mac on. Why did he do that?
Because it was one of those trains that went outdoors for a while. He was obviously
He had a Mac on.
anticipating
What
some
was it?
inclement
Was it-
weather.
was
The
it-
clothing choices are odd. When Daisy and I saw him, we went with Absolute Radio, we saw the Stones, there were a lot of what I call magician's shirts.
Yeah.
You know, the sort of
Yeah.
gold billowy ones.
Yeah.
And, oh, he's got the magician's shirts.
I see Charlie Watts was saying this week that sitting playing the drums and seeing Mick Jagger's bottom for all those years is one of the finest views in the world, he said.
Really?
Well, he says that. We sit opposite Rear of the Year 1990.
Yeah, exactly.
Live.
Still kept taut by lawn mowing, I like to think. So that's not quite what it was, I'll be honest with you.
Oh.
It's gone a bit like...
Collapse
Nigel,
mineshaft.
you remember when Nigel Lawson lost all that weight? It's gone a bit like that.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
The thing about mowing the lawn... Do you mow the lawn, Al? You...
No, we've got AstroTurf. We've got the fake grass,
For
mate.
goodness sake. What about you, Em? You got
Well, I
one?
have U2's gardener, as you know, tending to my concrete patch.
Oh, okay. Well, the great thing is that I put the lawn stuff, that green stuff that you cut off it,
Grass.
Oh, yeah.
grass, I put that into the bags and leave it by the bins, and they take it away.
Right.
And the whole thing about the rubbish getting taken and stuff, I find really exhilarating. Putting it out, when you go out on Tuesday morning, it's gone. I really feel, whoa, that's amazing that's happened. Do you ever feel that? You look at me like that for?
No,
No,
it is
I don't.
it's a bit feudal system, though.
What do you mean?
Well, just in the sense that I sometimes feel guilt that someone's picking up my old rubbish.
Oh no, they probably make more money than I do, those folks.
Well, that would be an interesting chat.
Just second-hand three-wheeler scooters that they pick up from by the bins. No, I mean, my dad, of course, had a compost heap because he was Mr. Practical Man, but I understand that's a fire risk.
Oh, is that what they reckon now?
Yeah, apparently they can burst into flames.
I thought the compost heaps were very on trend. I thought they were in vogue.
That doesn't mean they're not dangerous, does it?
No, I didn't really... I mean, what I mean is
you
I'm
look at
surprised
the,
that there's a
No,
downside.
Look
don't
at the
fall
legal-
out about it.
Well, you look at the legal highs.
Yeah.
Still dangerous.
Can I say, I'd love it if you two now didn't speak for 2 years over a compost heap. What did you fall out over?
Compost
Love
heap.
it if it was
Wow, really? What a waste.
Yeah.
It's like, the haystacks, they can go up.
Is that?
giant, I hear.
They sort of, they generate
Combust,
heat. Yeah, they
spontaneously
combust. That's what they
combust.
do. They combust.
I don't
You don't
think
believe that?
compost heaps do that.
Well, look, if
Surely
anyone
they're
at
full
home
of
knows
wet
that, don't text us because we're not live. But email us and then we can talk about it next time. Is that a deal?
I, for one, won't be able to wait the entire week to find out.
Well, if you've got a compost heap in your garden, I think it's worth knowing if there's a danger the whole thing could become
I've
an
had a
inferno.
compost heap in the past. I'm surprised that it's so combustible. Ours never burst into flames.
Well,
I don't know
you know, but
anything
that's-
who-
you know-
Alan Partridge or something.
Look, I could walk
See, I love
across the
this.
M5
This is-
and not get run over. Doesn't mean it's safe to walk across the M5. Right? Am I right, people?
Interesting
If you agree with me,
comparison.
don't text in. Not live. I will tell you what else I did. I'd like your advice on this, the pair of
yeah.
you. I arrived a half hour early for something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I'll be honest with you, it was a Roman Catholic Mass, and it's been 8 o'clock for years, and they've changed it to 8:30, so I got there about 10 to 8, 8:30 start.
Oh.
And it was early in the morning, like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, there's not much on, is there?
There was a coffee shop open.
Oh, could you not get a coffee?
I don't like having a coffee on my own.
What do you mean?
I don't.
What about takeaway?
Especially a celebrity. Celebrity having a coffee on their own. That's got to be the end of a relationship, hasn't it?
With what?
Well, it's just got to
wrong
be.
with you?
That's that you've been locked out by somebody.
Oh, right,
Do you think
yeah.
so? Well,
Why
I know what you
else?
mean. The 10 to 8 would have been suspicious.
Yeah, why else? would
Rise
it-
spotted. Oh, imagine you've got
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
That's
if
what
you'd
would
been
have
Frank
back.
happened.
Skinner, and you know what it would have said? Nursing a coffee.
Nursing a coffee. Frank's in the doghouse, and then just like
Yeah.
a picture
Yeah.
you in the window of a Costa just sipping.
Better latte than never. That would have been the headline.
The funny man who recently spent a cool X million.
Uh-huh.
That's what they say.
Former
On a trampoline.
TV funny man. Yeah, the unplanned star. You would say. They always say something you did about 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Even Madonna is like the holiday songstress. I'd like to know what's the best way. In the end, I just walked up and down the high street, which must have also
I do a lot of that.
because there was one bloke sitting outside a cafe. I passed him 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Now he must have been suspicious that something was going on.
I feel your pain. This happens to me more than it should.
Does it?
Oh, all the time.
Well, we'll come back to this, and no mistaking.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Yeah, I'm always early. I always, we've talked before about Lombardi time. You know Vince Lombardi, the sports coach,
Yes.
that
Yes.
said if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late.
Yes.
I seem to have doubled and sometimes trebled that, and I'm trying to get it down to just Lombardi time, because I'm arriving over half an hour, and so often it's inconvenient, and I think, I don't really want a coffee on my own. And then you kind of go, oh, well, I'm just going to have to. There's no other option. The other day, I was standing at the side of a road thinking, oh, shall I look for somewhere for a coffee? And then a woman said, are you lost? Can I help you? And I just sort of...
How's this story going to go? Huh? Wondering about this.
I just said...
Hopefully
no.
not into a legally worrying area.
I just said, no, I'm just deciding whether or not...
And she
there's any
said,
point
yeah,
going
but what I
anywhere."
mean is,
Oh,
are
I
you
see.
a bit lost? If you know
Oh,
what
right.
I'm saying. You said, no, I'm fine. She said, no, but, like, when I say lost,
And she meant lost.
what's she like, this woman?
She was an old lady.
Oh, okay. So what?
But then I was
Imagine
going
if someone said that about me.
40
Oh.
minutes is 40 minutes. Yeah?
Can I say, I think this is a sign of two very healthy individuals.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I think punctuality, I think people who are punctual tend to be quite sorted. I think late people, of which I'm one, we're hot messes, frankly.
I wasn't going to say anything.
No, I am. We're hot messes. And it's slightly passive-aggressive, I think. Yes, I think it is, because I've heard that before from my therapist, who I'm often about 3 minutes late for. So what she says is it's a way of imposing yourself on the situation. It's a bit look at me, you see.
Oh, I guess so. Yes, it's the
Yeah.
grand entrance at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next time if you want to heads to turn, you arrive at church at 8:35 when he's already got going, and you just barrel in like, ah!
Yeah. Well, there are people that do that.
Ugh.
Raquel Welsh, her son married...
She's arriving late at the church.
She married... her son married Freddie Truman's daughter.
Right.
You know Freddie Truman, the cricketer?
Yeah.
And Raquel Welsh was like an hour and a half late. The bride had been there for ages and stuff, and they were... Yeah. I mean, it's not good, is it?
Can you teach me to be early?
Yeah, just set off earlier.
Is it too late in life?
I've been early my whole life.
Oh.
Good night. Now, there was a moment. Now, you see that moment there, that pause? Mm-hmm. That's where the gold is. But I've got this thing that it has podcasts on it. It's a podcast app.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it suggested I updated it this week. So I did so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got some new facilities now. One of them is, get this, and I quote, it's got the silent skip option. Right?
Silent skip.
Yeah, not as in silent skip. Now I said silent. No, this is called the silent skip option. This is a quote. Makes your listening more efficient by removing silences from shows. So if you had a moment, see what it would do, it would have cut that out, so I just talk straight on.
Oh.
Now what about comic timing?
Exactly, yeah. It's not
What
good
about
for
the
the
dramatic
jesters.
pause?
Yeah.
Yeah, get through a Pinter play in about 10 minutes, couldn't you?
Well, you know, I've always had a pinter per person per day.
And I love an awkward moment on the radio.
Yes. Well, where would we be without it? We've won 2 major awards based on those silences. No, I think they've got it wrong, though. They've got it wrong.
Yeah.
Because I listen, for the example this week, I listened to, they're doing some of the Fourth Doctor dramas on the BBC.
Oh, lovely, Frank.
Yes, you know, Louise James and Tom Baker. And not necessarily in that order. And, you know, there's some proper acting in it. And actors, you know, they'll say something and then they might not say it. Like, you know, it's like the late, great B.B. King. You play some notes, you leave a gap, you play some more. You don't want this machine tightening it all up.
Well, they have the bit in the script that says beat, don't they?
True.
You all know that being an actor, Frank.
Yes.
And you will, from Jason the Asthmatic, Alan.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I think breathe he got. Pant in
Gasp.
brackets.
Got a lot of gasp.
Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, no, he's still got it. Held on to that. No, but I think it's a really bad idea.
Me too.
What can I do about it? You know what I did?
What?
I chose not to accept the that option.
Oh, good.
Frank.
You heard it here first.
You're listening to the Frank Skinner podcast from Absolute Radio. Want your Frank fix a little sooner? Listen live every Saturday from 8 a.m. on Absolute Radio. Across the UK on digital radio, mobile apps, and in London and the South East on 105.8 FM.
Absolute Radio.
Now, can you help me out with something that happened to me this week, which I'm confused about? I was shopping, and a lady came into the shop wearing a wedding dress.
In the shop?
Into the shop. And she was, like, looking about and stuff, and I was with my personal assistant, who's female, and she said...
I think everyone can relate to this anecdote already.
Yeah, exactly. She said to my personal assistant, she said, excuse me, have you got any spare... can I use your eyeliner? Because I'm a bride, and I realise I've left the house without my eyeliner.
Was she after something borrowed? Was it that? Was she trying to...
Oh.
I wasn't showing a makeup artist.
Trying to get through the...
Well, that wouldn't be your first choice. I suppose more people are more liable to do that and, say, can you lend me that waistcoat?
What was the dress like? What was the dress like?
It was a
tatty?
nice dress. It was one of those dresses that laced at the back.
Oh, the corset back.
But there was no hint of a bra strap. So what was going on, I don't know. But it's one of those when you fasten them very tight and it sort of brings the skin into a sort of a paste.
Yes, I know. It was like the old Man United kit.
Like a pasty crust going down the small of the back.
Yes, I know.
But it's a nice dress. It wasn't. It's a nice, silky thing. And I just thought, what's going on? I mean, I haven't mentioned the shop we were in was Toys R Us.
Oh, really?
Now, if you're on your way to your wedding and you think, oh, God, I haven't got my eyeliner. A driver, can you stop at Toys R Us? Did you think crayon will do it? Bit of crayon.
That's what she was after. Some paints. That's a good idea.
But what was she doing? And also, would anyone say to you...
Runaway bride.
I'm a bride.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, I'm a bride, and when I left the house, I wondered if she was, at first, when I saw her in there, if she was, like a princess from Frozen or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But no, she was just, it was just a straight wedding dress. She wasn't anything to do with the shop. What do you think?
There used to be a guy in Greenwich who used to walk about in full motorcycle leathers, carrying a helmet, and would walk up and say, excuse me, have you got any money for me to fill up my motorbike to ride home? And it was very convincing, and you would give him the money, and then you'd see him the next time you were in Greenwich and realise you've been done. But maybe she was just in full bridal gear walking around Toys R Us constantly asking to borrow mascara.
Eyeliner. But what is this, the great eyeliner scam?
Yeah,
That's got to be up there with the poetry updates. Yeah. Oh, well, we've got 12 eyeliners today, the idiot.
Are you suggesting that she's stockpiling this eyeliner?
Yeah,
It costs about $1.99.
It's a confusing crime. Although I'm not saying she's a criminal. She might not be. It's just I'm just spitballing.
Well, hopefully that she's listening, or someone who can explain to me what happened. I'd like to know.
I've got my own theories.
You do? Can I say, before you come up with this, just a bit of extra information? She wasn't a woman who looked like she was completely sans eyeliner.
Oh, right.
Oh, she had makeup on already?
Yeah.
It was top-up makeup.
Oh, Chrissy Hind. Okay. I think there are two things. They might have been doing a little midnight flip marriage, so they might have been on the run, as it were.
Well, this was about 1 o'clock lunchtime.
Okay.
Quite far from Gretna
That
Green.
strikes through that theory. What I would say is, do you think the marriage was, how can I put this, totally above board? Did she have the requisite papers?
She had a wedding dress on there.
Well, that's how they get you.
I know, but you don't put a wedding dress on and then jump over the brush. It's usually going to be a formal. I'm really confused. I'd love to know.
Did she look at you like she knew who you were?
No, she didn't really look at me at all. She was clearly looking for women. She's not going to ask me for eyeliner. Of course, if Tim Minchin had been with me, she'd have been straight over.
Yeah.
But no, it's no good asking me for eyeliner.
No.
Or Russell Kane.
Guy like
You'd have done really well out of him.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few of them about.
There are.
Yeah. It's become the new look cool thing, the eyeliner. But I'm a bride. What are you talking about?
You sure she said I'm a bride?
I know exactly what she said. It was a
say
strange
something like, I'm Annie McBride, and it was like loud music in the background.
I mean, it's not often one is approaching the street by a woman in a wedding dress.
No.
Well, not in the street, but I was near the
Public place.
Yeah, I was near the glove puppets. Just didn't seem right.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
That poor bride.
Something I never told you. I went to Disneyland a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I was there's some really nice restaurants in Disneyland. I mean, it's that sort of nice burger and chips, but also, healthy stuff as well. Mm-hmm. And but we went to one which was really, really quite nice stuff, and we was leaving it, and there was an English bloke, and he was saying to the woman on the counter, no, listen, all we want is 6 big plates of chips. we don't want nothing else. And she's going, chips? No, 6, just 6 massive plates of chips. There's like him and his wife and kids. Absolutely. I wanted to applaud. But I think he'd have killed me. Judging by some of the tattoos he had.
Yeah.
He seemed to revel in violence. Mm-hmm.
I respect people that have the confidence to just order the chips as well as anything else.
Because sometimes you do just want chips. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you sometimes just want, Frank?
Sometimes... Oh, I'll tell you what I did have recently.
Just
I'll tell you, while I was over there, Just Swede.
Just Swede.
Just Swede is my new place.
That sounds good.
Just Swede.
Yeah, well, you just buy Swede.
That sounds great.
Or it could be a Swedish restaurant. Je suis. I had, while I was in, there's a tour. Well, there's a tour going past. Is it a tour or is it the bailiffs? People are standing outside. We have a little window here into the in the sanctum, and there's a woman in a lab coat. Is that a lab coat? It's a bit
it's
worrying.
a fashion coat.
They don't do animal experimentation in the basement of Absolute, do they?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
She's holding a beagle.
You know what they say?
Which makes me worried.
Yeah. Power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Oh.
Anyway,
Never heard the second part of that.
What I had to eat, something I've never had before, even though I've obviously heard of it. I had pickled pepper.
Pickled pepper?
You know, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper.
Yeah.
I saw pickled pepper on a menu, so I had it.
Good for you.
It's all right.
What's it like?
Adventure.
It was all right. A peck's a lot.
Is it?
It's quite a lot to eat. No, I didn't order a whole peck. I don't know how much a peck is. But yeah, it's red peppers for a start off. I thought it might be like, I don't know what I thought. It's something I've taken for granted all these years. But pickled pepper. Never had it. Have you been around?
It's never trouble. How dare you?
You know what I mean?
Nevertheless, let's talk about the food.
In a culinary way.
It's never troubled my existence.
No.
I have to say.
Well,
I do like a hot tidbit.
It's not that hot, actually. It's more pickled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, soused, I'd say it was.
Soused?
Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't really know what souse means.
Fermented.
I also had some stuff, just as an end note, called Eggs Has Snow.
Eggs has snow?
Eggs has, H-A-S, snow. And it was like white spongy stuff. And it was like marshmallow that had lost the will to live. So it had no real chewiness to it. It just melted in your mouth.
Oh.
It's not going to catch on.
I bet there's someone listening now who's had Eggs Has Snow. So don't text in if you're listening.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Don't text us today. I'm sick of it. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Truth is, we're not live. I'm going to be honest.
We're not.
I think we're funnier live.
Yeah.
But, can you do?
Morning, everyone.
Morning,
So,
morning, Jim.
Boys, I've got a question. Where do you stand on Minogue? Are you fans?
Yeah.
Would you?
Wherever work.
Would you?
Would I?
Do you find her attractive?
Would I date her?
Yeah.
I interviewed her once in her golden age, and I must say she had that kind of skin that seemed to emanate light.
Oh, lovely.
She was like, if you can imagine a sort of Kylie Minogue bedside lamp with just like a head-sized head on it. That's what she was like. Of course, we didn't know about the Botox then.
Frank.
No, it might have been that. I look back and think it might have been that. I remember a bloke saying she got fantastic Botox.
Oh, yeah.
The brows are high, I won't lie.
But she was, I thought in the flesh she was pretty stunning.
Oh, yeah, she's
But, you
stunning.
know, that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, she may be stunning, but she's having problems finding a mate.
Yeah.
She says she thinks she might have been going wrong with the qualities she's been looking for.
Yeah.
She says, maybe too good looking is where I've been going wrong. I don't mind grey hair. I don't mind bald or balding. I don't even mind a bit of a paunch.
I don't mind balding. She really is broadening the... Right, mate. I suppose if you're lonely.
Uh-huh.
Can I say I don't mind any of those things?
No.
I just feel that at the end of it, she's saying, as long as they're rich.
Yeah.
Isn't
There's a
she?
touch of that. Yeah.
Yes, because a lot of attractive women will go out with balding grey men with paunches. As long as they got a few hackers. That's what I'm saying.
No, well, that's not... My deal breakers are bad shoes and emotional cruelty.
Oh,
Yeah. In that order?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you say deal breakers, they're the things that you don't want or that you do.
I don't think... I'm sure Kylie doesn't want emotional cruelty. I would imagine she's had enough of hearts broken.
Oh, Frank.
She don't want to take that anymore.
Good point.
One of my favourite things about Frank Skinner is that he knows a lot of Kylie Minogue's back catalogue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love those bits that go, had enough. I never really worked out whether Kylie, they just put an echo on it, or whether she had to actually go, I've had enough.
No. Right, yeah.
Je ne sais pas pourquoi.
They've probably got
one
a
of Frank's
machine for
favourites.
that.
And that bit in, I should be so lucky, does she actually go, my imagination, or do they do that after? Do they do it in post, as we say in the business?
Nice. Bit of added knowledge.
Speaking of bedside lamps, did I ever tell you about my...
And other things no one ever said ever.
Did I tell you about that when I had a sound-activated bedside lamp? I must have told you about that.
I don't know.
I had a football...
Yeah.
shaped bedside lamp.
Oh, yeah.
And, the football lit up from the inside.
When was that, 96 perhaps?
It was around then. Someone had sent it to me as a gift. And you get into bed and read, and then you put your book down and go with the hands, and it went off.
Brilliant.
Oh.
And then if you woke up in the night, a bit thirsty, it came.
And then someone brings in your author, because you've got staff there just
Well, it'd be
waiting by the
nice
door.
if you got a round of applause, then it'd be going on and off all night.
Now, the terrible thing, and I got to be honest with you, is every time I broke wind, the light came on.
Brilliant. Love it.
Disgusting.
I know,
I love
it was. I didn't want it highlighted.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
See, I think Minogue has just been going wrong, going for the good-looking ones. Not that I'm putting any of us down, or any of our partners down. However, don't date models. They're not going to put the bins out,
there's a
are they?
certain kind of bloke she goes out with, isn't it? It's black suit, white shirt, hasn't had a shave. It's that kind of bloke.
Yeah.
And I can't see her now unless she's met someone who's a bit rough.
Oh,
and she's softening us up.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Saying
Getting the
what
excuses
I'm
in
looking
early, kind of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
When we see that Steve McFadden.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it. If she's with McFadden now, this is the way, isn't it?
Bit of a result for him, though.
Oh, yeah, he's done well. He's done well for himself.
Well, they have a portmanteau name. That'd be good.
What would it be?
You're the wordsmith.
Minogue Fadden.
Minfadden.
Minfadden, there you
Yeah.
go.
Madden. What's his first name?
Steve McFadden, isn't it?
What's his? Which one is he?
Phil Mitchell.
Phil Mitchell.
Could go Kemp. Nothing wrong with Kemp.
Mitchug?
Yeah.
Mitchug.
It's
it
all right.
wouldn't
This
be too long before
this
she was
bit will be
on
sorted
Kent.
out in the podcast when they skip over the silence.
Yeah, exactly. I what is she now? 45, Kylie.
46.
See, it's
Depends which
difficult.
paper you read. I read 45, 46 and 47 in 3
It's
different...
difficult because she was always a sort of a teenager type star.
Yeah.
Even when
Yeah.
she was 30, she had
Yeah.
that teenagerness about her. So it's a cruel business,
It
show
is.
business. So maybe McFadden's her best bet.
I think most people go through this, that she's going through much earlier in life than 46, don't they? Like, maybe I'm, like, after someone that's too good looking. I mean, most people start thinking that about 5 to 2 in the Frontier in Batley, don't they? Like,
Exactly.
When they start going, maybe just anybody will do tonight. It's Saturday, innit? Like, but she's going, I've got to 46 and this hasn't worked out for me.
Too much choice, Sal.
And she's meeting people in the wrong place. Like, her boyfriends, she's meeting them on, like, photo shoots for advert launches, so they're gorgeous creatures. Or she really will. She need to meet somebody like in a Weatherspoons or something. That's...
Yeah, but you
I
know,
must have some friends in Birmingham.
but when she dated Hutchins, if you remember, she became a sort of a crazy punk, well, not punk,
She did.
but that sort of
Yeah.
crazy peacock type figure like
She
he
did.
was.
Yeah.
So if she goes out with some fat bloke with grey hair, she's really going to go. She's going to look like Big Mo next time we see
That
her.
would be great. If next year's snooker at the Crucible just cut to Kylie sitting next to a fat bloke and they're both just watching snooker in Sheffield.
Great
No,
cross.
darts. I see her at the darts holding up a sign. Oh, I should be so
I want
lucky.
great
I should be so lucky at the top.
Oh, Dick. Wouldn't that be great? I'd think better of her.
Yeah.
Of course, Danny's completely committed now to her looks for the rest of her life.
Is she?
I respect her for that, because usually looks are just completely random. But if you've actually sat down and worked it out for yourself, I think that's more to your credit.
Yeah.
Hello?
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
One thing I did wonder when reading this about Kylie is...
Over you.
What's wrong with her? Oh, it's Roy.
Orbison on the second lap.
She gets referred to in the article about her dating, and in every other article I've ever read about her.
As the je ne sais pas quoi songstress.
No, as the pint-sized pop star.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if that's... like, is that all right? If she was a tiny bit smaller, would they not be allowed to say that? Because it would be a bit hurtful. Is it fine
I
to
see.
say she's a pint-sized pop star because she's
You mean you
small?
couldn't say it about Warwick Davis? for
Exactly, you
example?
No.
never read that. You never
It's
read
fine with Kylie
pint-sized
because
pop.
she's just tall enough.
Just tall
Is
enough.
she 4'11", I think? I
Is she
believe.
4'11"?
Is she really?
Blimey. Congratulations.
And also, if she wasn't a pop star, would they still do it? Like, if she was a politician but at the same height, would they say pint-sized Prime Minister
Well, this
or
is what I have as a small person.
pint-sized philosopher?
Yeah, but
People
the-
will always tell me I'm small, as if it's okay.
But
Yeah.
this is 2015, surely it should be the half-litre sized
Exactly.
pop star.
Yeah,
Let's start
kilograms,
with that.
litres.
We are
the
so
show's
three
gone
people in a
metric.
pub right now. I love it.
Oh, I used
Anyway.
to be someone in a pub.
No, you don't miss
You're
that
looking back on
life.
your stand-up
Come on.
career, or
I do, I
I
miss
find it
Oblivion.
weird when you say you miss alcohol.
Miss Oblivion.
I do miss Oblivion.
He misses a beer
I
sometimes,
do
don't you?
miss that bit when you realise there's dribble coming out your corner of your mouth, but it doesn't matter.
Lovely.
Do you only miss Oblivion, or do you miss getting lightly toasted with friends?
When I say I miss it, I mean, I miss it.
Okay.
It's all right. I'll be over it soon. We all will. When we're frying on Satan's griddle.
Imagine if she really was pint-sized, though. How much fun that would be, having a friend that was actually
That might
pint-sized.
attract McFadden.
Yeah.
He'd be straight in there. Hello, darling. Help, help.
What about George Clooney?
George Clooney, what about him?
Well, he's been saying, he got married recently to Amal McFadden,
Yes.
I believe she's called.
Amal McFadden.
Yeah.
It's one of the same
She
family.
could have been, but for a trick of fate, she could have been
Yes.
Amal McFadden.
He's been declaring, how much he loves her. He says...
How long
from
they've been
the moment,
together?
I love the note of suspicion in your voice. How long is it, Des? You know the gossip weeklies.
About 8 months.
Oh,
Is that since the wedding, or how long have they been together? The wedding was quite quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A bit forensic. He says, from the moment I met her until now, spending the rest of my life with her is the most important thing. What do you say to that, Frank?
George Clingy, I call him. That's what I'm calling him from now on.
It is a bit needy, isn't it?
Oh, I don't like the sound of that at all.
Well, I'm with you, Frank, on what was the Guardians of Each Other's Solitude?
Yes,
I like that
Rainer Maria Rilke, the German poet, said that you should be the guardians of each other's solitude, not wrapped around each other like Play-Doh.
Nice. That is nice, yeah.
Yes.
It's
But,
also,
then it's new for them, obviously.
it's also patently not true, because they're both still working. Like, they must have enough wedge to just turn everything down that meant leaving home if he was that bothered.
She's got the Elgin marbles to sort out. She's a busy woman.
Is that
Someone
what she's
clearly
doing?
grabbing hold of her leg.
Well, he could go. I mean, he's saying, we won't spend more than 1 week apart. But
Is
they
that
could
what he says?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not going to spend more than a week
No.
apart.
What about his commitments to being Nespresso's international brand ambassador?
He's going to do it all on Skype from now on.
Skype?
He's doing everything on Skype. Even those film junkets, he's just going to have his laptop in the corner of his hotel room. Wherever she is, they're Skyping.
So the commitment that Nespresso made to him now, it means
Yeah.
nothing.
He's pure Skype. They're going to have a Skype logo in the background, sponsored.
Poor Nespresso been dropped like some old ex-girlfriend. Espresso, I call it. I know, actually, I think that's already been it's been used.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
That creaking sound is not my spine,
No.
the chair.
Oh, it's the old ship's captain again, isn't it?
Oh, it's Ahab making his rounds, looking for the big white one. That's what he calls Gary Oldman's sister. Shall we get to the corner?
Yeah. Hey!
Yes, here we are.
Interesting remix of Email
Yeah, I
Corner.
thought it needed a bit of...
it was very Everybody Walk That Dinosaur.
That's why we've not been to the corner for so long, because it's been in post, being worked on.
No,
hasn't it?
exactly. I've been locked in post.
I shall begin. Hi, Alan, Emily, and Frank.
Hello.
Interesting.
Why is that interesting?
Because he was first.
Oh, Emily, Alan,
Hi,
Frank.
Alan, Emily, and Frank.
You were last.
It's alphabet. I see.
Yeah, I attended a football match at Bromsgrove Rovers several years ago. After one particularly nasty tackle from one of the opposing team's players, a Bromsgrove fan shouted out, "You dirty bag of washing," which had me laughing for quite a while later, as we obviously expected to hear something very different.
Yes.
Not only was it what he said, but the way he said it too. I guess I was not the only person from the Black Country at the game that day, as it is a very distinctive accent. Frank, you'll understand this, as the word washing was pronounced in such a way as to rhyme with flashing.
Yes.
I don't wish to treat Frank as a performing seal here, but
I
if
do.
you would be so kind as to demonstrate this for the readers, it would help portray the emotions of the man at the time to full effect.
So
Praise omitted.
what he
That's
would have
Kieran.
said? What he would have said is, "Yo, dirty bag of washing." That's what he would have said.
Nice.
I find that rather alluring.
Thank you very much. I think Kylie's listening, thinking this could be it. And I've had enough of washing.
It's also not a million miles from the truth. Look at some footballers when they're all they've been doing a lot of slide tackles.
Yeah.
They do look like, when you strip off, that's all going straight in the laundry. You're not getting a second wear out of that. They're all
I don't think
literally.
they do many second wears in the professional
No, they
football.
shouldn't. No,
No,
surely.
they do a P. Diddy with the old new shirts, new trainers, one wear only.
Really?
Is that P. Diddy? I thought that was Jay-Z as a box fresh trainer.
He does that as well. It's common amongst the rappers.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
what do they do with the
Old
with the
kit?
one worn? Is it straight to Oxfam shop?
Well, are you interested? I'll find out.
Well, I wouldn't mind a once worn pair of
Jay-Z
Size
on eBay.
14 Reeboks.
Is that what they are? Jay-Z's not a size 14, is he?
I would imagine
Might
so.
be. Oh, it's a shame it's not live show. This could be a texting. What
well,
size shoe is Jay-Z?
It'll differ my otters to sleep in.
Yeah.
They can't really stretch out in that pint pot.
I'll tell you who's the most relieved about the fact that the football teams now have a different kit. It's the mums of the man of the match. When I was at school, man of the match, you also have to take home the laundry and clean the kit for next week.
Right?
Yeah. My mum hated
That's
that.
not much of an incentive, is it?
No.
Well, I knew a guy who was a mate of a mate, and he
I already
decided.
sense that he's not going to come out of this story very well.
No,
You've
he
distanced yourself
No,
from him
I'm only trying to be accurate. No. I think he comes out of it in a very good way. He decided that he swore too much, so he wasn't going to swear anymore. So he come up with his own words to replace it.
Oh, lovely.
So he used to say fratting, and taunting was another one he used to say instead of swearing. So my mate was saying he was in a car with him once, and he was looking for a parking space. He was going a bit slow, and the bloke behind it the horn, and he said, "Who's a fratting papping?" And on another occasion, a guy at work was teasing him about being not very attractive. I don't think he was a great-looking bloke. And
Hi, Lee, if you're listening.
and he said, "Well, you ain't no taunting homo sheriff yourself." Which was a reference to Omar Sharif, who at the time was
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Exactly. I know taunting homo sheriff. but how great. People just cut their own furrow in language.
Just want to write that down for my T-shirt company that I've got going. You ain't no taunting homo sheriff.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.
The other thing that I did a radio show with fantasy football when it first came out. Wasn't there was a radio show called Fantasy Football, was based on the game.
What was that?
Which me and Dave was managers on. And David Baddiel, and there was a guy called Nigel Pearson who was a journalist for the Mirror, not the Nigel Pearson.
Oh, yeah.
Not Are You an Ostrich?
No, not Are You an Ostrich? And I remember we had a phone-in on this show. Me and Dave was the guest, and Nigel was in the chair. And this bloke came on, and it wasn't a very good line. And Nigel said, "Are you talking through a sponge cake?" And I always thought that was a very fine turn of phrase. Anyway, there you have it.
Shall we move on to email 2?
Certainly.
This just says hi all.
Hi all.
There he goes again, the captain.
This is from Jackie, who I believe is one of our regulars, actually. Hi,
Oh,
Jackie.
okay. War Jackie.
On my way to Burnley for the big 6-pointer versus Leicester.
And it's Tim.
What was that?
What's that?
Are you running a cab firm?
Yeah.
I love that. That's the best thing that's ever happened on our show.
I
The
think
funniest.
I think I should have been told.
I just need to say, yeah, he's on his way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
5 minutes.
I'm waiting outside. What do you mean? My cab driver's got a strange voice, hasn't he?
What about when me and Dave flew to me and David Baddiel, when we lived together, we flew to Inverness for the premiere of Loch Ness.
You lived together. How did Trevor feel about
Ted
that?
Dancer. He was fine about it. I didn't really know him then. We just
Okay.
we was on nodding terms.
I think you were more friends with benefits then.
I used to see him in trade. But anyway, we.
Sorry, you went to Loch Ness. Yeah.
Yeah, well, on the morning, David had a dream that the plane was going to crash, that we was going in. So he was very nervous about it. And then his brother had phoned up and said he realised they were flying on Yom Kippur or something like that. Anyway, there's a whole series of things. I might have mixed two stories together there. Anyway, Dave was very anxious about the plane. And then the doorbell went. It was the car to take us to the station, which had been booked for Dave, and to the airport. And they never got his name right, drivers, in those days. So he'd been going on. The bloke said, come on, I'm going to do the voice slightly, forgive me. He went, Mr. Buddy Holly. Mr. Buddy Holly, yes, brilliant. So Dave then really, really was terrified. But as you could probably guess, we weren't killed. Anyway.
Okay, where were we?
Oh, no, hold on. I think we have music to play. Oh! Don't Daisy hit me in the... I'll tell you what Daisy does, if I'm a bit slow on the buttons. You know that fleshy bit under the armpits?
Yeah.
She really
Does she get you with the
pinches...
pick?
Really pinches that. I look at it sometimes in the mirror. They're navy blue, but with like yellowing around the edge from where it's still coming out. Ouch.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, meanwhile, I was reading Jackie's email out.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, she says, on my way to Burnley for the big 6-pointer versus Leicester, and I always save up
bit out of date, that. There's no big 6-pointers left for Burnley.
In the corner now, isn't it?
I'm afraid they've gone.
I know.
They've gone.
This puts it in its little context. And I always save up your podcasts for the 4-hour journey.
Lovely.
Just catching up with last week's, and I share Frank's pain with the service station filtering issue. As you can imagine, I passed through... Should we explain what that is? Sorry,
it's my thing where I turn off into the... And it says cars and fuel and stuff like that. And I just... that car's fuel thing... I want fuel, but I am in a car. And I have that terrible moment, and there's always...
Oh, I hate
there's always somebody fratting papping behind me. So, it's so... Make it nice and clear. Nice and clear.
I'm glad we've explained it, because Frank's service station filtering issue could be all sorts of stuff, like you deciding who's worthy of speaking to, couldn't it? Like Frank's service station.
Yeah.
Have they got a wedding dress on? Do they need mascara?
Do they think they're taunting Omar Sharif?
Yeah. or it could be my interview for the new...
is it taunting?
The Nespresso International brand ambassador.
Omar would have been good at that.
He would have. Is he still around, Omar Sharif?
I don't know.
We'll call him by his correct pronunciation.
Can you contact his people, Daisy?
Yeah. I mean, this is a pre-record, isn't it?
Phone him up and you're here. It's a backgammon going on.
Hello?
Perpetual. I'm in the middle of some backgammon at the moment with Bianca Jagger.
Yeah, there'd be a lady with a negligee.
Oh, almost certainly. Anyway, what
Jackie says...
email?
As you can imagine, I pass through a lot of service stations on my travels. I was wondering if you had a checklist for what makes a good service stop. For me, it has the big three of... It names 2 supermarket brands or 2 shops. Can I name them?
Oh,
Frank?
yes.
Okay.
It's only Jackie's opinion.
Okay. The big 3 of M&S...
This is not live. They might have closed by the time this goes out.
Starbucks and Waitrose. Then you
M&S,
can't go wrong.
Starbucks, wait. Blimey. I would... You see, I'm a Julie's Pantry man myself.
I
like that.
what about Greg? I heard you right.
I also like ATA services. I like those business management books.
Oh, I love those, Frank.
They always have those. Leading a team and getting the best out of your...
As if you'll read them whilst driving on the way to your meeting.
But that's what the businessmen think. Well, I better swat up on this. I've got some administrative HR discussions to do.
Business for Dummies.
Where is it? Yeah, all those books.
Yeah.
Oh, so many books.
I love a Smith's, though, Frank. I'm all over a Smith's.
In one of those shops. In the...
I just need a latrine, I need a Smith's, and I need access to cream eggs, and I'm happy.
Don't need to be a Smith's. I like those proper motorway services bookshops where you can get a big hardback coffee table book about Princess Diana.
Yes.
And a Jethro CD.
Oh, yeah.
And a doll in Welsh national costume.
Yeah, made out of coal.
I mean, I don't know if this happens in the ladies.
Sometimes I'll stop off to buy AA membership.
Nice.
From the man on the car park.
Bloke in steel-toe cap boots that just talks to folk as they go past.
Once was furious once. There was a bloke selling the Encyclopedia Britannica CD-ROM.
Oh, yeah.
And do you remember CD-ROMs? And I said, oh, how much are they, mate? And it was like 40 quid. I said, I'll have one of those. He said, well, I haven't actually got any with me. I said, what do you mean? He said, we have to send a wave. I said, well, why are you here? Why are you even here? You can see why that went down the nick. Did it go down the nick? Yeah, I think it did.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Don't text us today. I mean, no, don't. Because we're not live, and I don't want you wasting your money. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, though, by all means. And yes, email the show via the Absolute Radio website. That's harmless. This will all be tightened up on the silence.
Speed right through that.
We'll get the writers in to do some material for that.
Get writers in, I say.
Yeah.
Squeeze a news bulletin in there.
Exactly, there's a gap there. I wanted to ask Emily if this happens in ladies' toilets in the service stations.
No.
I suspect it doesn't, actually. I mean, this really does make any comfort break for me when I stop when I'm on the road, is going to the bathroom and seeing a guy that I think is a truck driver stripped to the waist having a full wash.
Oh,
Have you seen that guy?
I have seen that.
Prison wash?
Proper. He's fun, isn't he? He's one of those. And sometimes a shave.
Does that happen
occasionally.
regularly, does it?
Yeah, I'd say about...
In the urinals. Thus they kill two birds with... No, I've seen people do it, though.
It's happening less these days, though, isn't it, because of the trucker stops?
I've
I think
never
they must
seen
have some
that.
purpose-built trucker stops.
I think they have showers in the
nowadays.
cab now.
Yeah, oh, no.
I don't like
They
that.
didn't on that YouTube clip I watched.
Mind you, I did what I call a Superman cab change the other day. I changed my entire outfit in the back of a cab.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Needs must.
Driver must
Did you have
been.
someone there to hold up a Wimbledon
I had
towel?
my boss, and she said, "I'll hold your jacket up." And I asked the driver, I said, "I'm really sorry, but I've got issues with my legs, and they're just not summer ready yet." So,
Did he know what that meant?
of course he didn't.
No.
And I said, "Do you mind if I change?" And he just went, "Ugh." That was all he said.
Oh, okay.
Had he seen a bit of leg? Is that why he was going...
Was he?
like a gorilla's leg just poking out at the bottom of your jacket or something?
Whoa, careful. Don't be led
fine.
into the trap. Oh, my legs aren't right. Why don't we all join in? What do you mean by that?
No, you know what? You know what that is, Frank? It's fine.
Oh,
Exactly.
uh-oh.
I'm sure your legs, even when they're hairy, are smooth. Shania Twain, when I interviewed her, told me that in the winter she doesn't shave her legs at all. She likes a bit of extra warmth.
Oh.
There we go.
What about that?
Wasn't she married to a cyclist at that point?
She was married to a bit of a dodgy. Let's call him a trick cyclist.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
irony that
I don't know if
would
he
have
was
been-
married. Did she actually marry
Who's this? Who are we talking
Lance
about?
Armstrong? She was with.
No, it's Sheryl Crow.
Oh, yeah.
I interviewed her as well.
I was one out.
They're
Same
much the
difference,
same.
yeah.
They're much the
Same
same.
difference.
Thank God I'm here.
Yeah. That's what we say.
They're all. It's like Elkie Brooks and Barbara Dixon.
It's not like Elkie Brooks. I'm a 70s singer.
No, but Elkie Brooks, Barbara Dixon. It's a toss of a
you
coin.
confuse them, yeah.
Oh yeah, we sorted that out. There's kids listen to this, and I think, what's that? Elkie Brooks. What does that mean?
It's
Is
just
that
constantly
somewhere in Canada where the caribou feed? That's what they're thinking. The fools.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I was going to
Walking
discuss
Down the high street when I heard footsteps behind me. Is that what he's going to do?
I was going to discuss this news article of Joanna Lumley, who
J-Lum?
who says that she feeds foxes that live in her back garden in London.
Oh, that's
and
Gurkhas. You've got mixed up.
Typo.
She's still got those in the
Hello.
caravan.
I don't know what
That
happened.
was
I
Alan
suppose.
Bennett, wasn't it? An old lady.
She sorted out the Gurkhas. It sounds like this might be the next stop.
Well, she did, and she didn't though. They moved here and then weren't happy, were they?
So what, the foxes?
No, the Gurkhas.
They're used to the warm weather.
You seem to think they're interchangeable, the Gurkha.
Well, I'm just saying, I Lumley likes a cause, that's all I'm
They
saying.
make very
does
good
like
bodyguards.
horse.
I know someone, a celebrity, who has one as a bodyguard.
A Gurkha?
No, a Gurkha.
Yes.
She
She
said
loves
this.
the cause, but the strange thing was, I was talking to one, she hates the cause. Despises them.
Surprising.
Yes, you're normally a very mild-mannered woman. So, the cause.
Even the brother. Poor Jim.
Especially the brother.
Oh, yeah. He was a chancer.
I don't think I've got much time for Lumley. I can't.
Really?
Oh, I love Jerry Lamb.
No, I just should shut up. In fact, to be honest, I'm not bothered about foxes or the Chelsea Flower Show. This entire story, I don't know. It couldn't be lower down my interest chain. Really.
Well, you brought it up.
I know. Who cares about Joanna Lumley, though?
I
Why
think
is she
a lot
always
of
banging
people-
on about stuff?
Isn't she an NT?
Oh,
Yeah, she
exactly.
is.
Yeah, but why? Why is she an NT?
Because, well, I'll tell you a Joanna Lumley thing. When I was sort of just just making it. I was asked to present Best Actress in a Comedy at the BAFTAs in the days when the
lovely,
BAFTA,
Frank.
when the TV and the film BAFTAs were the same ceremony.
Right.
So I was in the green room with like Tony Curtis, Michael Caine, Gina Lola, Brigida.
Oh.
Don't know who that is.
Knock out.
And then Chico bringing up the rear.
Chico wasn't thought of then. Whether he was bringing up the rear, I don't know. But anyway...
when you called Chico a foolish devil.
Anyway, I had to present... She won Best Comedy Actress, and I presented her with the award. And I thought, she doesn't know who I am. And at the end, when she left the stage, I remember, she took my hand, and we left hand in hand. I thought that was a lovely gesture for the new kid on the block. So I thought, that's it, I'm sticking with Lumley. I've got 4 Gurkhas in the attic.
Have you?
Yeah, been there for 2 years now.
Good for you.
Never get a peep out of them.
I'm a fan of Lumley.
Yeah.
I mean, she did say, calm down, Alan.
Yeah.
She said she invites them into her home and she lets them curl up on the sofa, but her...
Gurkhas?
Oh, Frank.
We're going to keep this on.
That's on to Ronnie's sketch. 4 candles. She said she cares for, and how J-Lom is this, several completely charming foxes. Oh, I love that.
I don't think it... I think it's all right to have them in the house.
Oh, no, they absolutely stink. My whippet occasionally rolls in the excrement of foxes.
Well, yeah, but could
Are you sure that's your intent?
I hope that no one ever judges me by the smell of my
Listen live.
You make a good point there.
No, you can't say that.
That is a good point.
Smell because they're ecstatic. I mean, you're putting the worst possible slant on it. That's what I said to Cath when we was put up the trampoline. No, I don't. They're not that different from a dog, are they?
I think they're flea-ridden.
Aren't they nicer than a dog?
No,
Don't ask me to be rational about foxes. You know my feelings on them.
I know you like Foxy Bingo, but that's a whole different ballgame.
But even the live, like, moving ones, I think they're getting too keen. They're too confident.
Are they getting a bit George Clooney?
They're too keen, too confident. Like,
She says they're very talented. She says they walk on walls.
talented.
She says they walk on walls. Are they like Wall of Death motorcyclists? How
They
do they
walk
do
on walls, so I can do that. She's never invited me and sit on the sofa in the music room, as it says in the article.
I wouldn't.
The silly
sit on that
article.
sofa.
I think that they're probably nicer. They would make nicer house guests than your average dog.
No.
Nicer house guest than Steve
Why
McFadden,
not?
I reckon. Don't you?
No, I think they'd eventually turn on you.
Well, so do dogs. Look at the papers.
Yeah.
When's the last time you hear about a pack
They're
of
not-
snarling, baying foxes chasing a dog across the
Thank
countryside?
you, Frank.
Yes.
This is all good
It
stuff,
happens.
Frank.
Thanks very much.
Oh, good stuff.
Quite right. I'm getting my reviews now on tap as they come. Also, I think you might be onto them. My son is ginger, so I have some sympathy with foxes.
It's not because they're ginger that he
That's
doesn't
not
like
why
them.
I think,
not why I'm
well,
onto
that's what people say, though, isn't it? Oh, no, it's nothing to do with the fact that they're, is it? I'd like to know.
I think they will start turning on people. If you see them in London, they look at you
What,
as
the
if to go,
gingers?
no.
The Gurkhas?
Foxes have a white beard. It's ginger men in reverse.
Is it?
Some people always have a ginger beard and then a white hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
I'm
Yeah.
really pleased with that
I
work.
think you see the occasional fox that's more strawberry blonde. What about the
I
tail?
don't know
or
if you can
something?
describe that.
Tail.
What about the tail?
Oh, the tail makes me
Tapered
come
at
over.
both ends. I bet you it comes out. It's actually retractable.
The tail.
Why is it tapered at both ends? There's something going on there. Straight back in, back out again.
Telescopic.
Yeah,
They're beautiful beasts.
they are.
Horrible.
They've probably been doubling as boxer dogs for years, and no one realised it. They
No,
just do that with their faces. Didn't really
I'll
work
be
on
honest,
radio.
though.
Didn't work on radio. I accept that. Why don't people just trust that was a funny boxer type face I did? I think it was
Looked like Remy
Prince
Zellweger.
Nazim.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
My only issue with the foxes, Frank, is that they're rather noisy in the bedroom. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They do make they can get noisy at night and sound a bit like a child crying.
Yeah.
Do you find that?
Yeah.
I think there's a nature reason for that. I think it
Oh, I
hurts
don't.
them.
I know it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
So please.
Oh
don't.
yes, I've heard that.
Mhm.
I don't think that's true. I think they got mixed up with umbrellas. No, I get quite excited to see one in the garden.
So do I.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's a bit of an event, a fox in the garden.
No, they're undoing a lot of your gardening work. They're wrecking it.
I caught two on the trampoline the other night.
You gotta be
No,
careful.
that was gurkhas.
Would you let them in?
I'm so confusing.
Would you let them
But they weren't
inside,
bouncing
Frank?
together. One was going up as the other one came down. It's incredible.
It's nice.
Oh, they're nuts. They
You
could
sure
have
they
been-
weren't on the seesaw?
No, they won't go near the seesaw. The one was on the rickshaw after. And they got so they'll take any work they can get now. No, it's
Let them
exciting.
inside, Frank.
Would I let them inside? Maybe not with
No,
a small
not with
child, but
baby
I
bars.
wouldn't have a dog in the house.
No.
You know, they're not safe, these creatures. But I will say that whenever I see them, I think there used to be a poster on the corkboard in our classroom at school, that the wildlife of Great Britain.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, it used to be like a field that had got a fox in one corner, a badger in the other,
Oh, yeah.
an otter had come in. I think there used to be one of those, was it the koi pew, those?
Is that on a carp?
No, you're right. What's a hoopoo? Was that a bird? The hoopoo.
That was one of your Birmingham friends' swear words that he made up.
I think it was a bird.
He's so poety.
Anyway, I love the fact that they were all there in the same field on the same night. It used to be so exciting.
What are the chances?
I reckon the artist must have sent out mysterious invites
Yeah.
across the
So
wildlife.
we didn't have the
thing.
photos then.
No,
With
it
the
was all
lovely
hands
illustration.
Oh,
on.
no, we had those artists doing it.
Yeah.
And they took no credit.
You're listening to Absolute Natural History.
Absolute. Whatever happened to classroom wall artwork. It was good though, I missed those posters. I wonder if you could get one on eBay.
Yeah, probably.
You
can
think?
get anything on eBay.
Wildlife for Great Britain. I
Yeah.
don't want the photos, I want the paintings.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what about that? Lumley just stroking the fox in the corner.
Oh, what is it?
Lumley stroking the gurkha.
Yes, what a night that was.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
Of course, it'll be old news by the time this
You're
is
right.
on air. It'll be
Do you
old
want
news.
to have a cough?
I'm just a bit upset that I saw on the news that Joanna Lumley's got her arm in a sling. Apparently a fox has taken it off. Right up to the elbow.
Well, how could it be in a sling then?
Good point. Good point. Good point. I'm knocking
You're
about.
witness.
You're witness.
Actually, I'm good,
Seriously,
thanks.
Seriously.
I like it when Frank gets her rumpole. He'd be a very good barrister, Frank.
No, if she
Thank you
got
very
hurt by a
much.
fox now, people wouldn't bat an eyelid, would they?
I used to love a bit of rumpole.
Oh, so did I.
Good night.
We've got a news story here about a man who said that he nearly went bankrupt because he was addicted to buying new pants for every single day. Nando's manager, Kurt Almond, from Bristol, spent £40 a week on new Calvin Kleins.
How much is a pair of Calvins?
I would say
Emily?
I'm going to go
They've got to be 20, have they?
maybe 17. I'm going to go.
Okay.
Although, to be fair to him, if he was buying that many, he was probably getting them in big... He was probably
Well,
I don't know how big
bulk
it
buying,
goes.
wasn't he?
He should have gone for the Calvin Classics.
Yeah, he went too high.
40 quid on Calvin Classics. That'd do you for a... That's a lifetime supply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that excessive?
I
Well,
think so.
it works out as £2,000 a year, which is a lot on pants.
It is.
Yeah. And he realised after wiping out most of his savings that it was bankruptcy or boxers. Game show idea.
Yeah.
Just,
I think the
just
last
saying.
member of Blue went bankrupt this week. The
That's
last one to
right.
go.
Are they
They
all
love
gone
it,
now?
don't they? They
Yeah.
love
Are they
it.
all gone?
They've all gone.
One in, all in. That's their rule.
What a shame. Blue are in the red.
I'm glad I never took up one of them on that offer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Well, you don't want to go out. After Costa urinated on that cash point, I couldn't listen to him anymore. The CDs are
Don't
just
say
sitting there
that. He
gathering
follows
dust.
me on Twitter.
Does
I've
he?
got to keep my followers.
Yeah, I thought you had to put a Mac on.
Sorry, Anthony.
He's a nice chap, actually. I've met him a few times.
I haven't met
Worked with
him.
them all, haven't you?
He's not the one that asked me out.
I know which one asked you
Okay,
out.
well, let's not talk about it.
But stop bringing it up.
But I want to bring it up, but I want to pretend I don't want to bring it up.
Oh. Complicated.
Anyway, this guy, he likes some box fresh guy, as I believe.
So is the idea he wears a new pair every day?
Yeah, he did start to buy budget.
The rappers with the trainers.
Yes.
But none of this used to happen before disposable contact lenses.
I was going to say disposable pants.
It's put the idea in people's heads of just, literally in their heads, one could argue, that it's nice to put something in and then just chuck it. You don't have to bother about it anymore.
Yeah.
My favourite quote in this was that it said at one point, things got so bad he had to resort to buying budget ones instead. We know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
That's Calvin Classics, fine comma face.
Yeah. I once I went to a festival and I wore the same socks for the whole festival, 4 days. And on the last day, when I got off, I put my socks on and I got them on the wrong feet.
What?
I could actually see the big toe where the little toe was. They'd started to take in the casing, the casings.
I thought you
meant
your socks were labelled like Jimmy Cricket or something, like R and L.
No, you could actually get them on the wrong feet when you've worn them a bit.
Brilliant.
The toes settle into like a carapace.
And other things I hope I'll never have to find out.
Fair enough. I'll tell you what I've always fancied, a pair of boxer shorts with side pockets.
What for?
That go into gloves.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to get you don't have to wash your hands after. So they go into gloves, and then you take out whatever you need to take out.
After what, may I ask?
After you've been to the urinal.
Okay.
So you put your hands in the pockets and into the gloves, and it's like, you know when you see them handling a radioactive isotope in a laboratory?
Yeah.
Like that. So they come straight into the... So you got black gloves close to the side, and then you do all the stuff, and shake and that, take it out, and the gloves stay, and your hands come out clean.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I mean, you know, what I need is a hotline to the patents office, because I'm having these sort of ideas all the time.
All the time.
I'm saying them on the radio, people are making a fortune out of it.
That Dyson guy, he gets all the credit.
Gloves.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Last time we discussed underwear on this show, I think I turned stomachs by telling you guys. Maybe this was an overshare.
I'm quite anxious.
Hashtag overshare.
You're anxious with your perished waistbands.
I think I told you that I favour a cotton boxer short by daytime, but
yeah, because you like to be held.
But when I do exercise, I like a brief.
You like to be taken a vice-like grip.
I like to be held. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, since then,
I use gaffer tape. If I'm joking.
Since then, I've
I've
encountered a new problem.
I've
encountered a new problem.
Yes.
As you know, I've recently passed my motorcycle test.
I didn't. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I've noticed when riding my motorcycle that sort of after a while, gravity kind of brings me down, as it were. And so I think I'm going to have to start wearing my exercise underwear for motorcycle riding.
Really?
Yeah. It's either that or a yoga block or something. I'm going to need to
think that must be. Is that G-force?
No, I think
Is
it's
that
just
good for the
gravity.
bike? It's gravity.
I think it's just gravity. But
Maybe you should wear a G-force.
Or maybe, or maybe wear cycling shorts. You know, like
cycling clips.
No.
Just secure it to the thigh. That's not. It's getting a bit. Is it getting a bit? It's
candid. Are you worried about the candour?
I think
I am.
It's God's way of telling you shouldn't be riding that bike.
You know, what's good for the goose is good for the candour. I've always said that.
All right, we can move on. Move on.
This pants bloke, though...
If any motorcyclists are listening and they've got a bit of advice, then by all means...
Oh, yes, don't text us.
Email.
Yeah.
Yeah, this pants bloke.
It reminds me of when I used to buy a parrot every day and then release it at midnight through the window.
Every day?
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end I thought, well, what am I spending a fortune here?
Yeah.
And some of them was coming back. There was about 15 on the windowsill.
Uh-huh.
That's when I was glad of them foxes turning up. Unfortunately, two got away and helped police with their inquiries. Stop me. Can somebody stop me? For God's sake, help me.
Strangest thing you've ever said.
Help me. I feel like a face at an upturned car as people approach with oxyacetylene equipment.
That would be my favourite thing ever. If someone is watching a comic live on stage who just said, help me, help me, hold me.
I've seen many who should. Really should.
And a big round of applause for the police. Yeah.
That's what we need. That's all we need. I can turn that around. Maybe back to Roy Orbison. Only the lonely. No, it's not working. Let's talk about... there was another fashion... What was the other fashion thing?
Oh, yes! Oh, no, I like this. Apparently... I say apparently, this is the Daily Mail, but nevertheless... they were saying that women go through 10 steps before making a clothes purchase. Which is meant to be quite a lot. So when they say 10 steps, these include various things, sending the pictures to friends... So you take a picture of the item and you send it to friends,
really?
Put them up on Instagram, see others' opinions.
This is people in the shop?
Yeah. Take selfies and then...
Of themselves wearing it?
Yes. And
send it to a... Wow.
Yes.
I don't know anyone whose opinion I value that highly.
No.
Looking at you doesn't surprise me. I actually don't mean that.
Hold on, let me just put my head back on.
Can I say...
No, I said, hold on, let me just put my head back on.
I went for a cheap...
No, maybe you didn't hear me, I said...
Be quiet.
Okay.
I went for a cheap shot and it was inaccurate because I actually think you dress very well.
Thank you, I love you for that.
And you too, Alan.
Thank you.
What about me?
You dress so well, it's beyond comment.
Good
Hear
point.
that?
I saw a man at the airport the other day. You know, you see these men, he's about... I suppose he's about 40, and he had, like, baggy jeans with turn-ups on. Mm-hmm. At that age...
Dating Kylie.
I know, but at that
not
age...
fair, is it?
It's like I'd say the upper age for baggy jeans with turn-ups is 7. And this was a bloke 40 with, like, big turn-ups, big back... Oh, what's the friend saying when he leaves the house? I imagine he lives in some sort of group thing.
House
Waste
share.
ground. So let's imagine he lives on waste ground. When he's leaving, doesn't anyone say, God? You know, you look like a Victorian construction worker. I don't know.
Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
You think that 10 steps before making a commitment to a clothes purchase is a lot, do you?
I find that the idea of going to the trouble of photographing. If there's somebody with me, I'll come out. You know, when you come out in the outfit.
Do you come out? I do.
Yeah, I come out. I don't go. I went in once. Mate, I don't know if I should. Anyway,
No,
I went
come on, I like
We
it.
were in. I was going out with a woman, and we were in Macy's in Fifth Avenue in New York.
Oh, that Macy's.
And she went in and tried...
Not the one in Port Talbot.
no, so she went in and tried clothes on. And she said, come in and have a... What do you think of this? So I went into the room. She shut the door. We ended up having the physical.
It's disgusting.
I mean, I think
Why
she'd have
did
been...
you do that?
She'd have been happy with a thumbs up. But, you know... I mean... Also, she asked me what the outfit looked like, and that was a sort of a seal of approval, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well,
Funny old morning.
absolutely horrific.
I wish we got back to life.
I intentionally...
It's like a barrack room in here.
Frank, I do the intentional wander out as well.
Do you?
Oh, I love doing that.
It's quite exciting, isn't it?
Well, I tell you where I do it if I think I look nice.
Yes.
And I want the equivalent of applause. I want people to say, you look great in that.
Because sometimes you try something on, you think, I'm not going out in this.
No.
They'll just have to trust me. This didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're at real half-mast or something like that.
You know what I do? I
Wrong.
fish for compliments as well. If I think it fits me perfectly, I'll say, do you think I need a bigger size? Oh.
No. No. No, you don't. You look fantastic.
Thank you, Al.
That's what happens then.
I get quite technical. I went with a friend, and I was saying things like, the thing is the line, I don't know if the line's good for you, because what it does, it's sweep, but the way it sweeps, you're losing the advantage of having your lovely narrow hips.
Wow.
It was, honestly, I was watching a lot of fashion TV at the time, if you remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really got into all that kind of talk. I watched documentaries about haute couture.
Haute couture.
Haute couture.
Hot food.
Yeah, I watched documentaries about that.
Haute cuisine.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Very interesting. All the stitches that go into haute couture.
Yeah. Here's something that's changed for me over the years, is that I'm now more concerned with things fitting well. Like, I really...
Yes.
I don't really care what the item is anymore quite so much.
Kidding me.
As long as it fits nicely, then that's quite a big deal. When I was younger, I wore some very ill-fitting garb, and now I'm much happier if a suit really fits. I look back on my younger self and think, what a fool. What a fool that man was.
I went into the Armani shop in Milan, and I tried on a pair of black leather dungarees. What's that noise?
He's very keen on motorcycling at the time.
And
Well, can I ask what Sir Trevor McDonald made of that?
He already had a pair.
he said, I wouldn't wear a shirt under that, just wear it with bare shoulders. I said, okay, Trev, what are you going to wear? And he just looked at me. He did that sometimes. He could be... I know he was a sir, but he was also quite surly, funnily enough.
He was.
You betcha. I wonder if he's listening again. Sometimes I get like a slightly barbed text after the show. Stuff like, well, yes, you would know about blue, wouldn't you?
Do you know what? I never felt he's sufficiently moved on.
No, well, it's difficult. I don't know if either of us have, really. But, I don't like a man who's got his post-coital chit-chat on auto-cue. Anyway, Pete Donaldson is coming up next. You'll be relieved to hear. And you know what? If the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back this time next week. So get out.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.